Hey guys, what's going on? Sherman here. I wanted to do this video and show you guys this new trauma kit that I put together using my Grey Ghost Gear Slim medical pouch. Now I already have a review of this pouch on my channel. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. I'll post a link in the description to that review. But in the review I mentioned that I replaced my normal everyday carry trauma kit with this one, just to evaluate what I liked about it, see what all it could hold, and to be able to do the review. After the review, I switched back to my normal everyday carry trauma kit, which is the ITS Tactical ETA Fat Boy pouch. And that's a little bit bigger than this one, so it can hold a few more things, and I like it for everyday carry. That is attached to my everyday carry pack. Now I also have a pocket trauma kit, which is the ITS Tactical EDC trauma kit. That's on my person. I don't have my everyday carry pack on me all the time, but I'll always have my pocket trauma kit in my pocket, obviously. So those are my kind of two everyday carry trauma kit systems. Now if I wanted to make, say, a camping bag or a bag I want to throw together to go fishing, I'm not going to take out of my everyday carry pack and add to that kit. I want to be able to have my own kind of standalone, set-apart kit. I don't like taking out of one system to add to another. So that's why I like having duplicates of a lot of things. And with this pack, I had the pouch, but it was just empty. And I had a few extra trauma kit related first aid supplies, and then I got a few new ones. So I had enough supplies, so I figured I'd throw together another kit that I can use this one to throw in, the glove box of a car. I could throw this into a camping kit or a fishing trip kit or a day hike kit or whatever. If I'm not going to have my everyday carry kit on me, then I'll have this. This is kind of like my backup trauma kit. Now the difference in having something like this and having my pocket trauma kit is my pocket trauma kit it's not limited necessarily, but it's specifically for one average size trauma for one person, an individual. Something like this could be for a much bigger trauma and possibly for multiple traumas. So that's where it's good. It has a little bit more capability. So I want to have both on hand. Like I said, the pocket trauma kit's perfect for spur of the moment things. And that'll definitely do, trust me. But for more extensive, traumas, stuff like that, I want to have another bigger trauma kit with me to, be able to cover a lot more bases. Now this is not the perfect end-all trauma kit by any means. This is just, I think, a really good kit that I put together, and I just wanted to turn the camera on and show you guys this pack full of stuff, because in my review I didn't show this pouch with anything in it. Alright, so first of all, the outside of this pack, I have a small patch on there. Some of you guys have seen this on Instagram already. I've been making a bunch of these just to have, and some people ask me to sell them, but I'm not sure how much I'd even sell something like this for, because it's not exactly perfect or anything like that. But all it is a medical cross that has some reflective, actually it's mailbox tape that I got at Home Depot, but it's highly reflective. And I taped it over some hook and loop material. This is industrial stuff. They use this to attach to carpets. So like you would sew it onto a rug and then put it out on a carpet so it doesn't slide around. Industrial stuff. It stays on really, really well. Like I said, it's highly reflective. It's just something like this that's camouflaged, or even like if this was black or coyote, still subdued color, hard to see. Something like this is bright, it stands out, especially in low light. That'll reflect light really, really well. And it's just, in my opinion, something like this is very important to have, that to designate that this is a trauma or first aid related kit. Because as I've said in the past, if you're the one that needs the trauma kit, but you're not around it and you have somebody with you and you need to tell them to go get your kit, most people, like you and I, most of you watching this video, are going to know that looks like a trauma kit. You guys have seen enough trauma/blowout kits, and you know what it looks like. To the general public, this is just, it looks weird. They know it's camouflage, so it's kind of military, but they may not necessarily know that it's a trauma kit or a first aid kit. So by having this, the universal red medical cross, somebody's going to see that. Like I said, it's universal. They're going to go, okay, I don't know what this is, but it probably has something to do with first aid. So you don't have to sit there and describe, it's the multicam bag with, the shock cord and the trauma shears on the side. You may not be able to even tell them in that much detail. You may be disoriented. You may be unconscious. So, like I said, most people aren't going to know, is this multicam? What is it? So like I said, I think it's very important to have something like this to designate that it's a first aid related kit. But anyway, so I have that. And on the side here, I have a pair of medical shears, trauma shears, that I have attached with a Refactor Tactical, or RE Factor. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. It's a trauma shear holder, has a button snap closure. And it's really cool because it actually has a very hard, it's just extremely rigid, 3-inch long base. And you can see it can slip in between two strips of moly that's 1 inch apart, so that it slides in between moly, and then this protrudes out of that middle section. So it wouldn't work on moly like this, obviously, where it's all put together. It has to be spaced 1 inch apart for it to work. But also the backing has hook and loop material, so it can attach to hook and loop. I don't recommend it like that because I just don't think it's that secure. Now, yeah, you can just slip the trauma shears, you know, in between, you know, the webbing of your moly. That's actually what I had it on there to start with. But, you know, they can get tossed. If this gets tossed around or just vibrated enough, these are going to fall out, and you don't want that. So I just wanted to be able to have these secured. It's not that expensive. It's kind of pricey for what it is. I got this off their website for about 12 bucks. It's kind of spendy for what it is, but it's high quality, made in the US stuff. But just want to throw that on there. And the shears I have are made by Meritac. I got these on CountyCom. These are American-made medical shears, stainless steel. Just, it doesn't need to be tactical black and coyote tan handles or anything like that. But I got these a long time ago, and I just threw these on here. I also have a pair of stainless, just stainless finished and black handled. But I just like this to follow the subdued theme. It doesn't really matter what kind of shears you have. They all do the same thing. So I got that on the side. That's pretty much it. I took the malice clips off the back because I'm not going to be mounting this to anything. There's just going to be to throw in the pack kit. What I did is on this folded over part right there that the grab handle attaches to, I braided some paracord together to make, it's a nice little grab handle to grab this, because you can't really grab the pack by this because that just makes the pack come open. Yeah, I guess you could grab it by that, but I made this to be a grab handle and also to assist in opening it up, because the way it's designed to be worn on you up against your body, it's much easier to pull that to open it up, but when you have nothing to grab onto or to hold onto back here, it's hard to open that up, like pull straight down. So my wife actually showed me how to braid, so that was pretty cool. So it's a little collaboration project. And just wanted it small. Didn't want just a single piece of paracord. It's kind of, I saw flimsy, and I didn't want to do like a Cobra stick because that'd be too bulky. So I just braided it, and that helps and open it up like so. So I think that is a terrific little modification that made this much more capable. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Alright, what I have here in the front slip pocket is, it's like it was meant for it. I have a SWAT T tourniquet. Stands for Stretch, Wrap, and Tuck. I went over this and explained this in better detail in my review of the ITS Tactical EDC and ETA trauma kits. Now, I also have a cat tourniquet, but I just threw this in here because it was more compact, and I like these a little bit more. I have some hands-on experience with using this, not, you know, in a trauma situation, but at a medical seminar I was at recently. And these just take a lot of the guesswork out of it and a lot of the dexterity out of it. Now, I'm not saying anything about cat tourniquets. I'm not trying to get into a discussion or an argument about cat versus SWAT. I just like this. It's small, it's compact, it's lightweight. I threw it in there. That's my reasoning behind it. I like cat tourniquets too. But I just threw that in there because it's super easy to operate, and it can also double as a pressure dressing. So it can do both. I have here just a simple pair of nitrile gloves still in the packaging. So, you know, they're not really sterile, but, you know, they're clean. They're not, it adds a little bit more protection from being damaged, from abrasion, from being in here. Now, I have some more gloves on order. They're actually North American Rescue Black Talon gloves. And they come in, the gloves are rolled up, and then they have a paper wrap over it to keep them real compact. And they're super, super heavy duty, high quality medical gloves. So, now they're still disposable gloves, but they're just a little bit more high quality than those blue ones you can get at like Walmart or whatever. So I have some of those on order too. I rooster video bombs like every video I make. But in here I just have a roll of gauze. It's just Johnson & Johnson gauze you can get anywhere. I got this at Walmart, real cheap. And I just have that in one of the little elastic loops down here. This only has one elastic loop. This actually has two. Don't use that bottom one. I may put something like a scalpel blade in there, you know, in the packaging, just to use as a lance. It's not that necessary, but it just doesn't take up any room or space. Might as well just put it in there. And on this side, I have a North American Rescue pressure dressing. It's called the ETD, or Emergency Trauma Dressing. These are all American made of US materials. These are fantastic pressure dressings. This is the 4-inch flat version. Now you can get two versions of this same exact pressure dressing. They have the flat version and then the regular version that's not called anything. It's just rolled like an ace bandage, whereas this one is compressed to be flat. Now they both come in the same packaging. They're both airtight and everything like that, vacuum sealed. It's just this one's a little bit more compact for putting in your trauma kits than the rolled version. So I have both. I just went with this one. Like I said, it's a little bit more compact and flat. Now, people are going to be asking probably, why didn't you just use an Israeli? What's the problem with Israeli dressings? Nothing. Here again, I used one of those in that seminar. I have hands-on experience. This takes a little bit of the guesswork out of it, a little bit of the dexterity out of it. Because this, you just start wrapping it. You don't have to wrap it through the little plastic cleat, turn it a certain way. You just put this on the wound and start wrapping. So, a lot of videos online comparing the two. I have nothing against Israeli bandages. They're, of course, proven and outstanding. This is just simply what I went with. And it's honestly cheaper. For an American-made product, this was $1 cheaper than 4-inch Israelis. So, just put that in there. Down here, of course, with any trauma kit, you're going to want some kind of hemostatic blood clotting agent. It's kind of redundant, hemostatic, blood clotting, whatever. But you know what I mean. You're going to want some kind of blood coagulating product like Quick Clot or Silox. So I just have a Quick Clot sponge. It's the Sport clotting sponge. I would rather have gauze, but it's a lot more expensive than this. They both do the same thing. That's kind of why I added this and the gauze, so you can pack wounds with both. You know, like I said, I would rather have the Quick Clot gauze. It's kind of expensive. So I just threw that in there. These are like $10, which here again is kind of expensive, but this is opposed to the $25 to $40 Quick Clot gauze. So just that's a must-have in any trauma kit. And down here, I'm not utilizing all the space. Like there's some elastic loops down here, which you could put pens. You could put an MPA in there, which I might add in the future. It's just not that necessary for me at the moment because I don't know how to use it. But I know my philosophy before has been somebody else could use it if they have the knowledge and I have my kit. But for something that I'm trying to keep compact and lightweight, I'm not really worried about it. I also have a decompression chest dart, but I may add those in the future. Like I said, I would like to get the proper training to learn how to use those. Last but not least is just a simple roll of 3M transport tape. Now, tape's kind of a luxury with a trauma kit. In the system that I have, you don't really need tape. But here again, it doesn't take up hardly any space or any weight, so I just added it. But there you guys go. It's a very simple trauma kit, but it covers a lot of bases, and it is highly effective. So if you guys want my recommendation, you don't have to set your kit up this exact same way, but I think this is the bare essentials of what you should always have in a larger size trauma kit. Now, in a pocket trauma kit, you're just going to want gloves, some Quick Clot gauze, or some kind of hemostatic agent like Silox powder even, like the granules, and then some gauze. Like I said, the ETA trauma kit comes with a SWAT T tourniquet, or not the ETA, the EDC trauma kit comes with a SWAT T tourniquet, some gloves, and some Quick Clot gauze. That's really all you need for a trauma kit. This just covers a little bit more trauma. So if you're trying to make a trauma kit like this, you can throw in a backpack that's not meant for pocket carry. This, in my opinion, is one of the best setups you could have. Now, of course, if you have the knowledge to use an MPA, which is a nasopharyngeal airway, or a decompression needle, then obviously throw them in there. There's plenty of room to put that kind of stuff in your trauma kits. But I don't know how to use it, so I just didn't put them in this kit. They're in my ETA trauma kit, which is on my EDC pack, but not in here. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I gave some of you guys just a little bit of an idea, maybe even one idea. That's why I love making these videos. If I can help one person in a decision, then that just makes me so happy, guys. Like, even if it is something as simple as putting a trauma kit together, if I could help one person, see, oh, that's a pretty cool item, maybe I should get that for my kit. That kind of stuff makes me so happy. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay sharp, and God bless. Sherman 614. Peace.